Hi, friends, it's Salt. If you're new here, this channel is all about salt. Salt is the alchemical element of transformation. Salt cleanses, it heals, and it transmutes energy just like you do. This channel finds the rare archetypes who move through life differently. So if you found this, I'm really honored to have you and really just be one of the few who gets to see and reflect you properly. Today's message starts off with eclipse energy, and eclipse energy is really like sudden reckoning energy, I would say. It is a force. And if these particular dates maybe resonate with you right off the bat as like a time where you've had almost like a questioning force about where or why you live somewhere, this message could probably be for you. We had two eclipses, one last year around April, I believe, and this year also around April, I believe at the end of March. If during that time you experienced some, I want to say epiphany like energy, if you experienced like a sudden questioning of why, what, when, and how you were doing something, if it is specific to how you live somewhere or like where you live, this could really be for you. But I am picking up right away eclipse energy being very strong. The Fool and the Chariot kind of like confirm this for me. I think it's really being tied to living in a place right now where you're just not comfortable in. Either you've outgrown it or you feel bound to it in some way, but right now you're starting to question, or you've been questioning since those eclipse timelines that I've just kind of laid out for you, especially if it got more emphasized during that time. I feel like that's really important. Another theme that's coming through really strong is your phone for some reason. That's kind of weird. I know. I'm feeling like heavy protection around your device, your devices, but particularly a phone. Maybe this could be where you just have do not disturb on really frequently, or like an overwhelming feeling of like avoiding when you get a message or a call or any sort of like ping from an outside source or an external source. You could feel like you shut down in those moments. That feels like the energy I'm talking about right now. I think this is just being presented to me as like boundaries in relationship to your device, but it could tie into this theme of when you've had this reckoning or these eclipse energies. I'm sensing like eclipse on the fourth or 10th or the third or ninth house axis, which kind of relates to this home and this moving, this like forced decision of why you live somewhere, and then a very strong boundary in relationship to your device. But before I continue talking about the boundaries, because I am sensing like a person tied to that, there is a really strong like theme that's being highlighted, which is like astrocartography. If you're not familiar, cartography literally just means maps. So what we're talking about is literally just planets and maps. If you're familiar with astrology, you know about planets, Venus, Mercury, Mars, all those good things and what they kind of symbolize. What we're talking about now is just relative to when you were born, the time you were born and location. This is just highlighting energies of locations that would either emphasize negative energies or emphasize positive energies. So it's kind of like a way to see what environment or what place in the world would encourage positivity for you or would encourage negativity for you. I'm picking up strongly too that like technology is coming through really strong. So this could be something where you just, if you use ChatGPT, if you're very savvy with technology, I'm being drawn to tell you to ask ChatGPT to highlight the three worst and three best locations for your reference, especially if you've recently been on a quest or in a place where you're questioning where you live. This is very important. Research is very important, and knowing and feeling the energies of just three examples of best and worst can really help this new direction you're going into. Tying back to that protectional energy, and a person that's showing up, a divine counterpart. I'm getting that this counterpart cross boundaries with you, either in the past or recently. They did not really respect or knew how to respect boundaries. Maybe they just didn't have that ability or that development to know how to. And so as a result, it seems now you have very strong boundaries. It was shown with your phone, but I think that it's like overall energy related. For them, I'm actually getting the opposite energy. Like they give freely to any and everybody. And it might be that other people take advantage of how open they are. I don't really sense a lot of foresight from them. Like they could be really reckless. They could be really bad at planning. Overall, it's just an energy that's maybe too open, as where yours feels very in contrast to that. This energy also feels like very people pleasing in ways. So, what I'm getting though, that this person recently gained a lot of clarity. I'm not sure exactly what that clarity was, but it seems the connections around them are frustrated by this new clarity. There are connections around this individual that kind of encourage coping mechanisms and their lack of boundaries to persist longer than they should have. It kind of feels like enabling energy, like for people pleasing. I think this person started to see more clearly that they were being used. And I also think that they had like ties to you and felt your energy kind of like be more guarded. And so as a result, they mirrored that as well. So I'm sensing that they're kind of like on a new journey of learning to protect their energy a little bit more. I think the message here is very much so about continuing to protect and guard your energy, not just because this person is feeling and responding to it, which I do sense that they are. They're definitely like shifting a lot of people pleasing tendencies and going more into mature and have more self respect and awareness. In particular, there are a lot of fated encounters and locations coming up for you for deeper healing. So, when I mentioned astrocartography at the beginning, it's very emphasized here. There might be coming up for you a realization of where you've always needed to be and live, and where that is in a physical sense. There might also be a portion of you that have always subtly been drawn to a location, and that is your intuition kind of telling you to go there, whether it was conscious or not. That's what that draw was. That's what it is. I'm being guided to tell you very much that interest in a location is for a reason. In each lifetime, your soul has kind of been drawn to a particular place, and it's where you go to heal or reach deeper levels of peace, abundance. Whatever is the next step for you on your timeline is kind of like these places are that missing puzzle piece, and your soul's like drawn to that for a reason. So this last part is, I know some of you already instinctively know this, but keep leaving comments. Comments really help me channel more efficiently. The comments themselves don't have to be anything personal. It doesn't have to be anything specific. Although I love reading either or, it's really just an energetic nudge so I can intuitively channel for you. It helps me align and channel more efficiently. So I look forward to each and every one, and I read them always. And I'm so happy you're all here with me. So cheers, friends.